So good morning, students. So today we are going to start with the new topic of your syllabus because our finite state machine chapter is over. Okay, so we are going to learn a new topic that is called as the Chomsky hierarchy. Chomsky is the name of the scientist, and he has built some rules and regulations about the languages, computer languages or machine languages. So this Chomsky hierarchy is a topic which is very, very important and it is always asked in each and every paper. Because I can say that 100%. 100% papers, this particular topic is asked. I'm not going to keep this particular topic in the unit test one. I hope you have seen unit test one syllabus that is posted on Classroom, Google Classroom. Okay. So start preparing for solving the questions mm, as per the syllabus for UT1. Okay. Today I'm going to give you the introduction about Chomsky hierarchy. It is something new, something like about languages and grammar. So it may be difficult for you to understand about the topic today. Okay. So don't worry. I'm going to revisit the topic again in one of the lecture by preparing the slides for it. Okay. But it is important to understand or learn this particular topic. You will have to visit the topic for two times, three times, and then you understand it completely. Okay. So today's lecture, my expectation is that even if you don't understand, you try to listen what I'm talking. You have to listen it for two, three times. Again, I will teach the same topic after some days. Okay. My next chapter, as per my plan, will be Turing machine. Okay. In our syllabus of theory of computer science, we are having four main chapters. The first chapter or first section of your syllabus is on finite state machine. The second section is on context-free grammar, and the third section is on push-down machine, and the final section is on Turing machine. And Turing machine is the most powerful computer. Okay, so my plan is to teach you Turing machine and then come back to the context free grammar. Okay. So we may start with the next section from tomorrow. But in order to join these particular machines and chapters, there is a topic called a Chomsky hierarchy. Okay, are you understanding what I'm talking? I'll just repeat this again. We are having four major modules in our syllabus: finite state machine, context free grammar, push down machine, and Turing machine. So there are three machines and one grammar in the syllabus. Push down machine का grammar है, उसका नाम है CFG. That is context free grammar is the grammar for push down machine. Okay. So now I am going to teach you a topic that is Chomsky hierarchy. Chomsky is the name of the scientist, and he has done some research on the computer languages or machine languages and the grammars, and he came up with some sort of hierarchical classification of the grammars. So we are going to learn today about this Chomsky hierarchy. What are the different languages? What are the different grammars? How to identify a particular language. But this particular topic, if you don't understand fully 100%, don't worry about it. I am going to revisit it again, but you need to learn or listen to it for two or three times. And then 100%, I guarantee that 100% you understand the topic. And first time when you hear it, some new terminology is there and new terms are there, so it may be difficult for you to understand. Okay, so don't worry about it. We will revisit the topic again, but we will have the lecture today on Chomsky hierarchy. Okay, so have patience whenever you are understanding, but you listen it carefully whatever I am teaching you. Okay, I'm not going to ask any question on this particular topic in the exam, but I'm talking about the final university exam papers where in each and every university paper, this Chomsky hierarchy is asked as a compulsory question for 5 marks or the short notes. So it is always asked for 5 marks. The weightage is 5 marks for this particular topic. Okay. I think this is visible to you, the screen. If it is not visible, then you just tell me, okay? And whenever you don't understand anything, unmute and ask me. Don't feel shy in asking any questions. Okay. So here the topic name is Chomsky hierarchy. I think this is visible to you. Chomsky hierarchy, Chomsky. Chomsky is the name of the scientist, and hierarchy is the classification of grammars. Okay, so it is the term is hierarchical classification. Hierarchical means in the form of a tree kind of structure. Okay, so it is a classification of grammar. Chomsky hierarchy, it is a classification of grammars that generates formal languages. Formal language means for any new language, a formal language, which you are inventing your own language. Okay, so it is a classification of grammars, and by using these grammars, we can have the new formal language. Okay, any doubt in this statement? Chomsky hierarchy is the classification of grammars. Multiple types of grammars are there for the formal languages. Formal language is a language which can be understood by the machine. Okay, so the grammar, always a grammar is defined as G. Okay, we can define a grammar as G is equal to VTPS. And remember, this everything is in capital. Or here in this case, whenever we are referring or writing anything, capital letters and small case letters, they have their own meaning. Okay, they have their own meaning. So you need to remember where to write capital and where to write small case. So grammar G is equal to VTPS. Okay, well, grammar G is equal to VTPS. So G means grammar. Capital V means a set of non-terminal symbols or set of variables. Okay, V stands for variables. Then T stands for terminal symbols. Capital T is a set of terminal symbols. Okay. Then P is a set of production rules and S is a starting symbol. Okay. You can note down this. Capital G is a grammar. Capital V is a capital V is a set of variables. It is a set. All these are sets. Okay, all these VTPS, they are the sets. So set है इसलिए they are capital letters. So V is equal to set of variables. Capital T is the set of terminal symbols. Capital P is the set of production rules, and capital S is the starting symbol. Okay, so we always start from the starting symbol, and then we generate a string. Okay, so we'll see that. Now here capital V is represented in the form of capital letters A, B. So variables are always represented in capitals. I'm just telling you the rules first to how to write it. Okay. So all these any grammar for a language. So you can relate it to the English language. Suppose you have an English language, you have the grammar of the language, and all the words which are formed in this language, they follow all the sentences of the language, they follow the grammar. And with the help of the words belonging to the language, the sentences are formed. Okay, I'll just repeat this again. We have an English language. English language has its own grammar. English language has a set of words, and the sentences are created by following the grammar of the language and by using the words of the language. Okay, so this is clear. We know that English language का dictionary होता है. Dictionary में set of words है, and we use the set of words and we create the sentences. And when we create the sentence has to follow the grammar. Okay, so similar to that, any formal language has a grammar. Now, what is a grammar? Grammar is a set of four elements. It is a group of four elements, VTPS, where V is capital. All these things are in capitals. All these are the sets, where V is a set of variables. Okay, so V is a set of variables. We'll see the meaning of variable afterwards. V is a set of variables, and all the variables are represented in capital letters. Like, for example, capital A, capital B, capital C. So variables are represented in capital letters. T is a set of terminal symbols. Terminal symbols are the leaf symbols or leaf nodes in a tree. सबसे नीचे tree में. Okay, tree starts from S. Tree, if you represent anything in the form of a tree starts from S, and when you go on deriving the tree, सबसे end में last में you get the terminal symbols. So we will see this with the help of example. Capital T is a set of terminal symbols, and terminal symbols are represented by using small case letters. So whenever we see small a, small b, small c, we have to understand that this is a terminal symbol. And when you see any capital letters A, B, C, X, Y, Z, U, V, W, then we and they are in capitals. Then we have to assume that it is a variable. Okay. Then P is a set of rules. Okay. जो grammar है ना, तो grammar has a set of rules. So that set of rules are represented by using capital P. Okay. And S is a starting symbol, like any other अपना machine. In machine, we say that Q0 is the starting state. Like that, in the language, the starting symbol is capital S, which is also a variable. It is also S is also a variable. S belongs to V. S belongs to V because it is a capital letter A to Z के अंदर का. Okay. Now assume. Okay, we will take an example here. Now assume here the language is equal to A raised to N, B, A raised to N, where N is greater than or equal to 1. Okay. A raised to N, B, A raised to N, where N is greater than or equal to 1. Okay. So by looking at this, they are saying that this is an example of a grammar, example of a language. So here they are saying that the language is of this type: A raised to N, B, A raised to N, and N is greater than or equal to 1. Means N cannot be 0. So now we need to find out what are the words of this language. Okay. So in order to understand the words of this language, we will say that we will start with N is equal to 1. So if N is equal to 1, the word of the language will be ABA. The first word of the language is ABA if my N is equal to 1. If my N is equal to 2, I'm having the word as double A, B, double A. If N is equal to 3, it is triple A, B, triple A. Now, if you observe this pattern, we say that number of A's and to the left hand side of B and number of A's to the right hand side of B are same or they are equal. And there is only single B. Okay, there is only one B. Okay, so now we can write a rule. We can write the rules of P. Okay, suppose we have to identify the grammar of the language. This is a language. This is an example of a language. I'm just telling you one example. Okay, we are going to learn in detail about these languages, how to design, how to write, or what grammar hai, so how to find out the language statement. If the language is there, then how to identify the grammar. That we are going to study in detail afterwards. Okay, right now you just study and observe this example. This example is saying that the language is equal to A raised to N, B, A raised to N, where N is greater than or equal to 1. So if my N is equal to 1, I'm seeing ABA, double ABA, triple B, triple ABA. That means my language contains such kind of words. So I can write the set of rules. What are the set of rules here? Like I can always have to start from the starting symbol S. Okay, when I'm writing the rule, what I'm doing is that I'm starting from S. So to the left hand side of the rule, for production rule, this production rule is used to create the sentence. Okay, the production rule is used to create the sentence of the language or the word of the language. So I always have to start from S, and this is a word belonging to the language. So I'll say that, okay, I observe the pattern and I say that S is equal to A, capital C, A. Here you can, the C is a variable. It is given, the name of this variable is given by me if I'm designing this language. You can write here anything, capital A, capital B, capital C, capital Z, capital X, anything. Okay, so I am using the variable C. So what I'm saying is that if I have a left hand side A, I need to have the corresponding right hand side A. So S is equal to ACA. So I'm just identifying a rule. Now I have got another variable. I started from the variable S because my grammar ka definition is VTPS. So I always have to start from S. So I have identified a rule for S, that S is equal to ACA, where अगर लेफ्ट में एक A है तो राइट में भी एक A होना चाहिए. And then in between that there is a variable. So I have to define this variable. What is the meaning of this variable? So I'll say that this variable is ACA because it is a recursive method, or small b. Okay, because whenever I want to stop the recursion, it is a recursive process. Left में a है तो right में एक है. Again recursion apply किया तो 2a's to the left, 2a's to the right. Again you apply the recursive rule, 3a's, 3a's. Like this we can get the string of this type, a raised to n, b, a raised to n. Okay, so I am just saying that capital C is equal to ACA, or it is equal to B. To stop the recursion, I'm saying that it is equal to either this or this. Okay. So I have identified for this language P. I have identified S. तो मेरे पास है. Now capital V is equal to capital S, capital C. Now I can write down. I can identify capital V, and capital T is a set of terminal symbols. तो small case letters क्या क्या है इसमें? Small a and small b. My words are made up of small a and small b. So terminal symbols are a comma b. Okay, so I think you have got an idea about this, that grammar G is equal to VTPS, where V is the set of variables. They are always represented in capital letters. Capital T is a set of terminal symbols. They are always represented by using small case letters. And the word of the language is made up of the symbols of T, capital T. Means the word of the language is always represented in the small case letters. Then capital P is a set of rules, and the grammar is always, we start from the starting symbol S, and we define the rule for capital S, and we go on creating our own variables, and finally with this, by using these rules, we can get the word belonging to the language. Okay, so how the we have to verify the answer. So how to verify the answer? ये जो प्रोडक्शन लिखा है इसका आंसर कैसे वेरीफाई करना है? So start from S. Okay, I just want to create the second string, double A B double A. So how I will start? I will start from capital S, and I will apply the first rule. So I have applied the first rule, ACA. S is equal to ACA. Then I will apply the rule for capital C. Capital C का left first rule. So if I apply the first rule, it is double A C double A. And now again I have to resolve this C capital letter. So I'll say that C is equal to small b. So I have got the string. So I started from S, and now I've got the word belonging to this language, double A B double A. Okay. Now for the same word, I can draw a parse tree. For the same word, I can draw the parse tree, and in the parse tree, I'll say that start from capital S. So first you draw this S, then apply the first rule ACA. Then for C again apply the rule ACA, and to stop the recursion, say C is equal to small b. So now here the small case letters double A, B, double A, all the small case letters, all these five symbols grouped together is a string belonging to this language. Okay, so this is just an example of a language. We have a full chapter on context-free languages where we are going to learn this in detail about the language and grammar and designing grammar. The questions are there. Okay, and the parse tree, and then the ambiguity of the tree, and all these things are there in detail to study. I just want to teach you about the Chomsky hierarchy, and Chomsky hierarchy is about the languages. So I need to tell you what is a language and what is a grammar. So I have taken this example. Okay, any doubt in the example, you can unmute and ask me. Okay, so what we are doing, we are trying to understand about the classification of grammars of the formal languages. Grammar is VTPS. V is a set of variables, T is a set of terminal symbols, P is a set of production rules, S is a starting symbol. And suppose this is the language, A raised to n, B, A raised to n, then we can find out what are the words belonging to the language by taking some values of n. And then by observing the pattern, we have to design the production rules for the grammar. So I say that S is equal to ACA. So I have introduced a variable, and then for the variable also again I have defined the rules, and then I've written down the answer VTPS. What are the values of V, T, P, and S for the grammar, and then I verify the answer. I take a string, and then I try to resolve the string or to derive the string from S. Okay, and then I should be able to draw the parse tree also. So this will be the parse tree. So like this is an example of typical example of a formal language. Now, what is Chomsky hierarchy? So to remember easily Chomsky hierarchy, just remember this diagram first. Okay, first step to understand about Chomsky hierarchy is to remember this diagram, and you just remember the sequence from like I can use a Hindi word to so that you will remember bahar se andar. So it is like out from outside circle, outermost circle to the innermost circle. Remember the sequence is 0, 1 to 3. Okay, because what happens is that the students they write it in the reverse way, and then the entire answer is wrong. They write each and everything correctly, but their numbering is wrong. Okay, so as per the Chomsky hierarchy, there are four types of grammars. As per the Chomsky hierarchy, it is a classification of grammars for the formal languages, and there are four types of grammars. The names of the types are type 0, type 1, type 2, and type 3. And how to remember? Outer to inner. Like 0 is the outermost layer. 0, 1, 2, and 3. Like this, you go on spirally drawing the diagram and you get this answer. So you will not make any mistake. Okay. So now so type 3, we have studied type 3. Type 3 is a regular grammar. Type 3 is a regular grammar that is for regular languages, and because इसका capacity कम है type 3 का our and it is like I have drawn another circle diagram. The type 3 or regular language corresponds to the machine FA. Okay, so we have studied FA का limitations है ना, तो ये inner circle is the FA. So that way you can remember type 3 is FA. Type 3 is a regular language and the machine is FA because इसका capacity सबसे कम है, so it is only the small circle. But ये जो outer circle है वो type 0 है. So you our that grammar type 0, it is equivalent to the machine Turing machine, and it is the outer circle. So Turing machine is the highest capacity wala machine. So it is the outer circle. मतलब outer circle has inner circles also. So whatever problem that can be solved by this finite state machine, that problem can always be solved by Turing machine because इसका capacity ज़्यादा है. So Turing machine can solve all the problems. So that's why it is in the outer circle. But finite state machine can solve. It has very मतलब less capacity. So it can solve only this many problems which are there in the inner circle. Then some of the problems which FA cannot solve, PDA can solve. So PDA can solve PDA का खुद का problems and FA का problems also. So when you design a PDA का machine, अपना FA का जो भी था problems जो हमने solve किया अभी तक, all the problems will be solved by PDA. Then there is another machine called as linear bounded automata. We are not going to study this linear bounded automata in detail as per the syllabus, but we will only study a short note about it. Okay, short note matlab theory, some information about linear bounded automata is there. And sometimes they ask in the short note about linear bounded automata for 5 marks. So that much weightage is there for this particular topic in the syllabus. But in the syllabus, PDA, FA, and Turing machine has the maximum weightage. So FA is less powerful machine, so it can solve only this many problems. PDA can solve the outer circle, matlab itna all these problems which are there in the FA also. So it can solve more problems. LBA can solve its own problems, PDA ka problem or FA ka bhi problem, and Turing machine can solve all the problems. Okay, so that's why in this manner you try to remember the diagram. Okay, so what I'm saying is that as per the Chomsky hierarchy, the grammars are classified into four types of grammars: type 0, 1, 2, and 3. And 0 to 3, you write it from outside to inside circles. Start from 0 from outside to inside. Outside 0 is equivalent to Turing machine. Then type 1 is equivalent to linear bounded automata. Type 1 grammar is called as context sensitive grammar. Okay, type 0 का जो okay, we'll see the names of the grammars. Type 0 grammar जो है type 0 grammar is also called as the language for the grammar is also called as recursively numerable language. I have written down in shortcut recursively, मतलब it supports recursion. Recursively numerable, ENUM ERABLE, numerable न्यूमरेशन होता है ना कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेजेस में, रिकर्सिवली न्यूमरेशन लैंग्वेज. Okay, and the machine is Turing machine. Then type 1 का language is context sensitive language. The grammar is also called as context sensitive grammar or type 1, and the machine is linear bounded automata. Linearly bounded automata. Then it is type 3. The language is context free language, and the grammar is context free grammar, and the machine is push down machine and or push down automata. And type 3 is a regular grammar, or the language is regular language, and the machine is finite state machine. Okay, so I think this way, if you remember, you can even most of the things you can explain, and you will get at least 3 4 marks for such description. Okay, but we'll see in detail now, like what is this. Okay, I'm going to revisit this topic again once. That time I'm going to ask you the questions. Before that, I will share this PDF with you. Okay, after your unit test one, I'll give you the notice in 1 day advance. That day you spend some time like 30 minutes or 20 minutes on this topic, study all these things, and whenever I'll take revisit this particular topic, I'll just ask you the questions and you need to answer the questions, and we will revisit the topic. So it will be like the exam for this particular portion. Okay, so this I thought that this will be the, if we create a table, then it will be easy to understand this Chomsky hierarchy. So that's why I have created these 4 columns, and there are four. I have created a table for that. Okay. So what I'm doing now here is that I'm starting from type 0. So my first column is about type 0. Second column is about type 1. Third column is about type 2, and the fourth column is about type 3. Okay. So now in the exam you have to write down the answer for Chomsky hierarchy for 5 marks. So you need to write down all these 5, 6, 7 points about all the grammars, and explain them. Okay. So type 0 is the unrestricted grammar. Type 0 ka another name. So first point is about the name of the grammar. Okay. They are identified as 0, 1, 2, 3, but there is a particular name for the grammar. So my first point is to explain what is meant by type 0. So type 0 is an unrestricted grammar. Then type 1 is a context sensitive grammar. Type 1 is the context sensitive grammar. Type 2 is the context free grammar. And type 3 is the regular grammar. Okay. Now in this regular grammar, I'm just doing some addition to it. This regular grammar it can be a right linear grammar or left linear grammar. Okay. So we'll see the meaning with the help of the example. बट रेगुलर ग्रामर का 2 टाइप्स होता है. इट इज अ राइट लीनियर ग्रामर और लेफ्ट लीनियर ग्रामर. Okay, in case of right linear grammar, your variable is going to appear for the right in the right side only, rightmost direction. Or if the left linear grammar, the variable is going to appear to the leftmost as a leftmost variable each and every time. So we'll see with the help of example. Right now, for what is the first point about this? Unrestricted grammar, context sensitive grammar, context free grammar, and regular grammar. Okay, then we'll see the examples. Example of a type 0 word is any computable function. Any function which is computable. Matlab you can calculate or compute some value. That function is called as type 0. Okay, if you have any function, or if you have any problem, what you have to remember always for type 0 and Turing machine is that any problem that you can solve by hand, and you get the answer or you can find out the solution for the problem is called as a computable function. So that any computable function is type 0. Means this A star is also a type 0. A raised to n, B raised to n is also type 0. Or A raised to n, B raised to n, C raised to n is also a type 0 function, type 0 language. Or it can solve, means all these things are solved by type 0. And it can have multiplication, square root of any number, or division of any number, or LCM calculation, GCD calculation. These are the computable functions. So these are the examples of type 0. Okay, these are the examples of type 0. As I know, as I told, we have done FA now. So I'm talking about type 3. So finite state machine, NFA or DFA. So if the string ka example is A star, that A is matlab A raised to n. A raised to n for n is equal to greater than or equal to 0. If you say that your language contains the set of words which are of type of A raised to n, means A is for n number of times, where n is greater than or equal to 0, then the string is of the type of A star. So if such kind of language is there or such kind of words are there, this is example of type 3 word. Okay, A raised to star is the example of type 3 word, means A raised to star or A raised to n can be solved. We can draw DFA and NFA for that. Okay, but as I told you, pumping lemma sikhaya tha maine. So as per the pumping lemma, I told you that A raised to n, B raised to n is not a regular language, because you cannot draw DFA and NFA for A raised to n, B raised to n. So it is not a regular language, but it is a example of a context-free language. और this is a word belonging to context-free language. तो ये इसका example है type 2 का. And type 1 का example is A raised to n, B raised to n, C raised to n. So here there were only two variables. Here there was only one variable, A raised to n. Here there were two variables. So जैसे जैसे capacity बढ़ रहा है machine का from 3 to 0, that way it can solve the complex problems. So A raised to n, B raised to n means number of A's should be equal to number of B's. That can be solved by push down machine, and the language is context free language. So I have written down this example here. Okay. Now type 1 ka example is A raised to n, B raised to n, C raised to n. A raised to n, B raised to n, C raised to n. This is example of type 1. And any computable function like multiplication, division, or GCD, LCM, any function, recursive function, factorial of any number, that is the example of type 0. Okay, so I think the first point is clear. These are the names of the grammars and these are the strings. Now the second point is about the name of the language. So we say that there are four types of grammars when we write the answer for the Chomsky hierarchy. And then we say that draw the diagram of the previous page, and then you start explaining them. So type 0 is recursively numerable language. It is called as recursively numerable language. Okay, or the type 1 ka language is a context sensitive language, and type 2 ka language is a context free language. So it is similar to, it is easy to remember once you remember the grammar name. And type 3 is a regular language. So that is the second point that you can remember about this. Okay, now the third point is that the machine for type 0 is Turing machine. The machine for type 0 is a Turing machine. Machine for type 1 is a linear bounded automata, or the another machine called as non-deterministic Turing machine. This is a Turing machine, but here it can be a non-deterministic Turing machine also. Is also can solve this, or it can accept or it can recognize the strings of type of A raised to n, B raised to n, C raised to n. And the machine name is linear bounded automata or non-deterministic Turing machine, which is tape bounded and by constant times the length of the input. Tape is bounded by constant times the length of the input in this case. Okay, type 2 is the push down machine. Non-deterministic and deterministic push down machine are the machines. So we can say push down machine only is a type 2. Then the machine that can identify these regular languages, finite state machine, and the types are DFA and NFA. Deterministic and non-deterministic. Here also deterministic push down machine and non-deterministic push down machine are the examples. Okay. Now this fourth point is the most important point. Okay, these are very easy points. First three points. It is the name of the grammar, name of the language, and name of the machine. Okay, for every grammar. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 के लिए an example string. So this is very easy. Now the next point is the most difficult one. So try to understand the next point. We'll start from FA. Okay, first we will start from FA. So here, in case of this type 3 grammar, the rules, production rules for the grammar, matlab capital P is a set of rules. So here in this case of type 3 grammar, when we write the rules, we always write left hand side is equal to right hand side. Okay, जैसे ये लिखा है S is equal to BA. Or in the example previously I told you that S is equal to ACA. So here we have a left hand side and right hand side, and we use a arrow. Okay, so left hand side is a variable and right hand side may it can be a combination of variables and terminal symbols. Okay, matlab it is a combination of capital letters and small case letters. Right hand side. Okay, so what are the rules here? That left hand side should always be only one non-terminal symbol. When we are identifying the rules for this particular regular language, always the grammar has left hand side as a single variable. So, and the right hand side is the right hand side can be combination of small case letters and only one non-terminal symbol. And the terminal symbol can be to the left hand side or to the right hand side. So, if the terminal symbol is to the right hand side, then it is a right linear grammar. And if the capital B is to the left hand side, then the grammar is the left linear grammar. Okay, are you understanding? We are writing the rules by using LHS and RHS. In case of a regular grammar, the LHS is always a single variable. So, sorry. So see here all the rules. In all the rules, the left hand side is a single variable. In all the rules, the left hand side is a single variable. And right hand side is a combination of variable and terminals. Right hand side is a combination of variables and terminals. So here you say capital A is equal to small a capital B. And the variable to the right hand side can be to the rightmost in all the rules or to the leftmost in all the rules. If it is to the rightmost, then it is a right linear grammar. And if it is to the leftmost, it is a left linear grammar. For example, here in the second part, I have given some example that S is equal to BA. So B is a capital B here, left में. और S is equal to capital AB. तो कैपिटल ए है लेफ्ट में इन द कैपिटल बी इज इक्वल टू कैपिटल ए बी तो अगर वेरिएबल है तो इट इज टू द लेफ्ट इन ऑल द रूल्स और अगर नहीं तो इट कैन बी एट द राइट so here this is an example of left linear because in all the rules the capitals are occurring to the leftmost side or in the second example SAB ka always the variables is at the rightmost. So to summarize, what we can say that in the regular grammar, LHS and RHS में in the rules, LHS should be only one variable. LHS में एक ही variable होगा. And RHS में it is a combination of variable and terminal. But variable अगर है, always there is only one variable in the right hand side. Left hand side also is one variable. Right hand side is a combination of variable and terminal. But to the right hand side only one variable and that variable is to the leftmost in all the rules or to the rightmost in all the rules. So here if it is occurring to the leftmost it is a left linear grammar or it is a right linear grammar. Okay, so you can see these are also valid rules, production rules for regular grammar. A is equal to epsilon, A comma B generate. mm, Okay, A generates epsilon. Here we have epsilon symbol. Capital A generates epsilon is allowed. Capital A generates small a is allowed. Capital A generates small a, capital B is allowed. Capital A generates capital B, small a is allowed. All these are valid production rules for this particular language. And the grammar is left linear grammar or right linear grammar. In left linear grammar, the variable occurs to the leftmost variable and right linear grammar always the variable is appearing as the rightmost variable. Okay, so these are the rules for the type 3 grammar. Okay, now see type 1, type 2. So see this column is type 2, A raised to n, B raised to n, that is context free grammar or context free language. In this case, the rules are of such type that A is equal to alpha. A is equal to alpha, where alpha is the combination of variables and terminals. Alpha is the combination of variables and terminals. And to the left hand side, only one variable is there. So always we have one variable to the left hand side, like S or capital A or capital B, and this is a valid example. Here I can have the rule as small a, capital S, small a. Okay, so here the variable is occurring anywhere. It can occur to the leftmost or rightmost or in between, anywhere. So, and any number of variables are allowed. So the rules are of this type because alpha is a combination of V union T bracket star. Matlab it can occur for 0 times, 1 time, any number of time, combination of variables and terminals to the right hand side. Okay, so all the rules are of the type of A generates, capital A generates alpha, where capital A is a single variable to the left hand side, and alpha is the combination of variables and terminals occurring at anywhere, any place. Okay, so this was about it. Now we'll see type 1. Type 1 is grammar is a context sensitive grammar. A raised to n, B raised to n, C raised to n is the example. It is a context sensitive language. The machine is linear bounded automata or non-deterministic Turing machine. And the rules are of the type of alpha capital A beta generates alpha gamma beta. Okay, where this A is a non-terminal symbol. A is a non-terminal symbol, and uh, alpha, beta, gamma is like you here in this case, alpha generates beta is also the type of the rule. But here, what is the important thing about this particular rule is that the length of beta is at least as much as of alpha. So the length of beta should be at least equal to alpha. And to the left hand side, we can have any number of variables. So here I can have a rule as S is equal to capital AB is equal to capital BC. Here there is no terminal symbol, or capital C is equal to small ab, or capital B is equal to B. So there is no restriction. Right hand side is a combination of variables and terminals. Left hand side can be more than one variables. But what is the restriction here is that right hand side ka length should be at least equal to the left hand side ka length. Matlab, if you say ABC generates BC, it is not allowed. ABC generates BC is not allowed. Right hand side should be at least equal to the left hand side. Is the rule, and you can have more than one variables to the left hand side. Here in these two type 3 and type 2, my left hand side is always a single variable. Okay, so here left hand side can be combination of variables, but only the length of right hand side should be at least equal to the length of the left side, and s does not appear to the right side. Another rule, another restriction is that s does not appear to the right hand side. S cannot be there to the right hand side. यहाँ पे s can be there at the right hand side. S is equal to ASA, but here s cannot be there at the right hand side. That is the restriction. Okay, now this is the unrestricted grammar. The last one is the type 0 is the unrestricted grammar. There are no restrictions. Anything can be there. So the language is a recursively numerable language. Machine is a Turing machine, and the rules are of the type of alpha generates beta. Alpha generates beta, but alpha cannot be empty. मतलब left hand side cannot be empty symbol, and alpha generates beta, where alpha and beta are the combination of variables and terminals. So left hand side can be group of variables and terminals, and right hand side can be group of variables and terminals. So there are no restrictions. So S is equal to SB, S is equal to AB, or SB is equal to BC, or B is equal to small b. Any kind of rules will be there. Only the left hand side cannot be a empty symbol. And recursive language, Turing machine can halt. Means it can go to the final state after processing. Okay, so this was about Chomsky hierarchy. So we'll have just in small So we say that Chomsky hierarchy is the classification of grammar by Chomsky scientist, and the grammar is a combination of four elements: VTPS, variable, terminal, production rules, and starting symbol. You start from always in the starting symbol, go on applying the rules, like here S is equal to ACA, C is equal to ACA, and C is equal to then B to stop the terminal symbol. So this is an example of a grammar, because we are talking about grammar, so you should know what is meant by a grammar. Grammar is the grammar for the language. Suppose the language is A raised to n, B, A raised to n, then that this particular language has this particular set of words, infinite set of words, and these words are formed by following the grammar. The grammar is defined with the help of set of production rules. So these are the rules here: S is equal to SCA and C is equal to SCA or B. This line means or, either this or this. So these are the set of rules. If these rules, we start from S and go on applying the rules, select the proper rule and apply it, and then you can generate the word of the language. Okay, this is the concept. And here there are four types of grammars: type 0, 1, 2, and 3. And the corresponding machines: Turing machine, linear bounded automata, push-down machine, and finite state machine. And then when we are writing the rules for the grammar, you need to remember that for unrestricted grammar, it is alpha generates beta. So no restrictions to the left hand side, right hand side, only the left hand side cannot be epsilon. And here alpha A beta generates alpha gamma beta, where alpha and beta are the combination of variables and terminals. And so that is nothing but alpha generates beta, and the size of right hand side should be at least equal to the left hand side. That is only the restriction. And left hand side can have more than one variables. So AB is allowed at the left hand side. These two types of grammars, left hand side is always a single variable. And here in case of type 2, the rules are of the type of A generates alpha, where alpha is combination of variables and terminals, and variable can occur at any location. But here the variable is appearing to the left side always in all the rules, or to the right hand side in all the rules if it is present. So it is also called as a left linear grammar or right linear grammar. Okay, so this much explanation and the diagram is expected in the exam. So as there is less time, we will stop now. But before that, I just want to tell you that in order to, because this is a question which is asked in each and every paper, and it is in the if it is in the first question, which is a compulsory question for 5 marks. There are always, for the first question there are four questions, no, five marks ka. So if it is asked for that as a compulsory question, and if you don't prepare it, then you may lose the marks. That's why this question to karna hi hai. So I am now going to share you with this PDF, and then whenever I will ask you, you prepare that one day before, and next day I will take a quiz, as well as I will revisit the topic again, and so that I'll come to know how much you have understood. Okay. Any doubts you can ask me now. So we'll stop here for today's lecture.